Okay, this is an example of the second grade Grant Wood landscapes that we are working on. So far I have my houses on, but I don't have my barns yet. We're going to do the landscape part of putting the fields on. I want to make sure that people are layering those correctly. So I have gotten some out of the scrap bucket to try to do another example because some people are not quite layering theirs correctly. So we want to make sure that we are layering everything correctly. The first thing you want to start off with is having a piece of paper that the top part is painted blue. You should have a large section painted on the top, about this much, as you can see there in the picture. Then you're going to take a large sheet of paper, one that comes all the way across, and you are going to cut it at an angle. Not from corner to corner, but somewhere in between over down below, okay? Like it's a hill. So I'm going to start up here on the top, and I'm going to slowly cut towards that corner, but I'm not going to the corner. And I don't have to cut at a straight angle because, of course, land, as you know, is not always flat or straight. But these aren't mountains, these are hills, so that's why we do not go corner to corner. Now you have two pieces, and I'm going to use this piece right now because you always want to have the larger part of the hill on the outside and the smaller part on the inside. And then this one I can use again later down the road if I flip it over, because again, the large part always has to be on the outside. And I can even cut this a little bit more to make it look more hill-like. Like so, and I'll use this down towards the bottom. So now I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to glue it on, and you always have to start at the top, up by where your sky is, and then go down to the bottom. So I'm going to start up here at the top, covering a lot of my sky that I've already painted, because your goal is you want all of your sky to be covered. Or not all the sky, I'm sorry, all the white part to be covered. So I'm going to also put some land across here. So I'm going to get another sheet of paper. This is another one that I found out of the scrap pile, and I want the bigger part to show. So again, I think I'd like it right here. So I'm going to cut off this part. And again, I can reuse that little part later. And I'm going to put this across here for another hill. Or another piece of land. Oops. All right, now I need another piece. Again, the larger should always be on the top. So probably use this side right here, and I will cut it so that the large part is over on the outside. Cut it at an angle, and this paper also does not have a lot of detail in it. I can always come back later and add some oil pastel details. Now you can see right here that this doesn't really look like land, but that's okay because I'm going to cover it with another hill. So I'm going to glue this one on. And you can also see that this side's not flat, and that's okay. I'm going to take those edges and stick them off the side. And then I'm going to come back after I've glued it on, and I'm going to cut those edges off. Like so. Now I still have room to layer some more. And now I need to go to the other side, to this side over here. So I'm going to reuse this piece, and I'm going to turn it into more of a hill again, cutting like so. And I have to overlap again so that these go overlap, 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 overlap. That is how hills look in Iowa and most of the Midwest. They should be real general light hills. We don't live in Wisconsin where we have really, really big hills. We live in Iowa where we have kind of mild hills like this. And that's what Grant Wood painted, was a lot of mild hills. Okay? And I'm going to keep doing that all the way down to the bottom. As you can see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. And in this example, I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you should have at least 7 sheets of paper, 6 to 7 sheets of paper. And I can keep going. As I said before, I could reuse this piece. Which, as a matter of fact, I think that's what I'm going to do right now, is reuse this piece. And you need to go all the way down to the bottom. So I'm going to take this and take it so it does go all the way down to the bottom. And I can use another piece. I could possibly recycle this piece if I wanted to, or get a larger piece, which I think I will. And it's very important that you do not have any white spots throughout the whole thing, and that the outside is always larger than the inside. As you can see on all of these are larger on the outside than they are on the inside. And whenever you layer a piece, it should also look very natural. Okay, so that doesn't look so natural, but this does look more natural. And I can also cut this so that the hill is more gradual. And I would put that piece probably here. It's also okay to lay the pieces down where you want them and not glue them until you are 100% ready for them to be glued in that area. Now, if you run out of paper or if you run out of scraps, you can always just get a piece of green paper like this. And I'm going to show you how to do that right now. And you can take that piece of green paper and cut whatever size hill you need. So I could go like this, but this is not a good drop off. That's not gradual at all. So I can take it down farther and make it more of a gradual drop off. And I can cut off any excess that I don't want. And I'm taking this plain sheet of green paper, and I'm going to later add oil pastel details to it. And I'm going to take it down farther like this. And I'll cut off that excess because I want it to end where it looks natural. And it wouldn't look natural if that hill just dropped off. And I can do a nicer job trimming that later. And then I'm going to put this piece here. So I'm going to come back with oil pastel and draw in probably some really detailed corn, because the more up front things are, the more detailed they are. And I can also go through here and start doing some more details in oil pastel also. I can do some lines in between here in oil pastel to make the farmland look a lot more detailed before I start to glue on my houses and my barns. Okay, so everybody needs to work today on their landscape and getting it layered all the way down to the bottom. No white spots, big parts on the outside, and putting in details with oil pastel.